Dear feminists, would you please stop ruining our society? Good men matter. Good men have a valuable and necessary role in any society, including ours. Good men provide safety and security for their families and their communities. They give their male children an example to model. And they provide their female children with standards that they're going to need as they mature and choose spouses of their own.
And you know what? They are leaving by the thousands, okay? So these little videos of pleading, hey, womanists, can you please do something about your behavior? Society is kind of falling apart. They're falling on deaf ears. And the thing is, men no longer care either. Like, this is just a matter of too little too late at this point. But what is going on, gentlemen? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, we're going to be taking a look at this TikTok right here. And then we're going to be jumping into an article about what is a true good man? What are some signs that you've finally met a good guy? But guys, if you're new here, you're liking the videos, make sure you subscribe on your way in. Come and join the Discord, link in the description if you haven't already. And if you'd like to support the channel, guys, as always, the Patreon is there. It's a fantastic way to get a bit more out of the channel. So if you're interested in becoming a supporter, supporting the growth of the channel, be sure to check out that link in the description. But guys, let's just jump straight back into the video here and just allow me a moment to set it up. And away we go.
They are excellent at problem solving and innovation. They are skilled, engineered, and physically endowed to build the infrastructures that we all depend on. They put themselves in harm's way to ensure the safety of our nation and our communities.
Okay, well, here's the question. Why should men do that anymore? I'm not seeing a lot of incentive. So, you know, you want to look at divorce courts, for example, right? A girl will say, oh, it's about equality, it's about equality. Yet they can't name one reason or one right that men have over women currently. In a first world country, guys, there are no rights afforded to men that are not afforded to women. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. It's all about equality. It's all about equality. Gentlemen, if you try and instantiate equality in your relationship, good luck to you. You wanna go 50-50 on the bill? You wanna not lead where you go? Expect that girl to not be around for very long. Or if she is, you're going to get treated like dirt. Guys, you lead the situations, you set the pace, you decide how the relationships go. Don't let this whole equality BS matter, okay? It really doesn't. That's not how relationships in the real world actually work.
I could go on. A society without good men, without strong men, cannot survive. And yes, there are men out there who are predators. But guess what? The best defense against a predator is a good, strong man.
You might be watching this video and you might think, wow, what a wonderful lady. She's on our side. Okay, even if there's bound to be an argument in the comments about is she a chameleon or not. Ignoring that fact for a moment, guys, it's a matter of too little too late. It comes down to, what is the incentive for men to do this? Are you seeing a lot of loyalty? Are you seeing a lot of situations where it's beneficial for men to do this? A lot of guys are in relationships, right? And they're not really in a relationship. They're really not. Their girl's still looking out for the next best option, still looking for that next guy to branch to, and they want to lay it down and be like, you know what, I'm going to protect this lady. I'm going to do X, Y, Z for her, and just because, right? Like, this kind of loyalty, this kind of protection, it has to be earned. It has to be for a reason, okay? And a lot of a lot of these womanist progression countries, guys, the girls just really aren't worth it anymore. Okay, because they're getting with dudes who do not do these sorts of things. And so you as a man, you have to ask yourself, well, why would I do it? If she's got a body count in the hundreds, if she wants to go around and have all this fun with different dudes, well, I'm not going to be guy number 101 that comes along to the rescue.
But your constant male bashing has disincentivized good men from being good. This serves no one. It's gotten to the point that good men are afraid of opening a door for a woman, of standing up so that a woman can take a seat, or of doing anything nice that good men usually do.
And the reason for that is because all it takes is one allegation, gentlemen. All it takes is one false allegation. And we all know how allegations work a lot of the time, guys. If you want to go up to someone, you want to talk to them, particularly a girl, right? If you're an ugly guy, I mean, you're just a creeper. right off the bat, you're a creepy guy who uh, you're not socially savvy, you're rude. Uh, like girls will. Here's the funny thing, right? Girls will call if you approach a girl and you're not the best looking, right? And you want to talk to her, have a conversation. A lot of the times she'll brand you as arrogant, right? But if you're a good looking guy, that arrogance turns to confidence. You see, when a girl's attracted to you guys, the amount of crappy behavior that they put up from men is ridiculous. They'll be attracted to these Chads, these Tyrones, who won't give them the time of day, who will treat them like crap, who won't be good on their word. And guys, we're going to be taking a look in a moment at the 14 sure signs that he's a good guy. And basically, they put up with the opposite of those signs, and then they turn around at the end of the day and want you to come along and protect them. No, thank you. I'm okay.
This literally is ruining society for the rest of us. Stop. If you feel the need to continue to male bash, if you feel the need to rile against men when they do kind and courteous things, why don't you just wear a pin or a t-shirt to let these men know who you are so that they know who we are?
They have t-shirts and ways of notifying who they are, and usually that's just colored hair, right? A lot of Western girls are womanists by default, gentlemen. So you know you don't really need the colored hair to point them apart. But at the end of the day, if I keep saying that phrase, man, it's like you just have to be careful with your commitment. A lot of guys are looking to commit, are ready. Guys will be like, oh, well, I want a girlfriend because blah blah blah, or I want a girlfriend because I want a wife. But what they failed to understand is, one, pursuing those things is a terrible idea, particularly within Western countries, right? Because we all know how hypergamy works. We all know how the entitlement works. I mean, watch my previous video on the entitlement if you want to see some of that. But look, even if you are wanting a girlfriend, I'll have guys ask me in my Patreon, how does that work? How does it go about getting a girlfriend? If you're a guy and you're wanting a relationship, the worst thing that you can possibly do is to go out there looking for a relationship. I've tried to explain this clearly on the channel, guys, but girls are not attracted to men who offer up the commitment just because. It's a bad investment for them. You guys know how a girl who, if she's got a lot of partners, she's a bad investment for us. A guy who gives up his commitment too early is a bad investment for them. Because if his commitment was worth something, he'd already have a partner. That's the thought process behind what they're thinking. You see, it's just it just becomes this whole funny mess, really.
We appreciate good men. Stop ruining it for the rest of us. Dear feminists.
Okay, and that's the end of that video, guys. But we're going to jump into this article real quick here. So I'm going to switch the screens real quick, and we can have a bit of a laugh at this. So you guys already know how when we look at dating advice from girls, it's terrible to say the least. Oops, I just dropped my. It's terrible. You don't follow it, and this is really no exception, guys. So if you're a guy who's choosing to date, we got all sorts of gentlemen over here. Those who are choosing to date, those who are choosing to not date. But if you're a guy who's choosing to date, or maybe you're just interested in the psychology behind it. If you're looking for a girl and you want her to be attracted to you, which I hope that you do the opposite of these 14 signs, which we're about to get into, okay? So let's get into the 14 signs you have finally met a good guy, shall we? So let's just go to the... Now, I know what you're thinking, guys. Don't laugh. Hold it in. Hold it in. So let's just go through these real quick, okay? He doesn't play games with you. He makes you see your true worth. He makes you feel comfortable and at home, fading past insecurities. I don't know why comfortable is spelled with an N, but it is what it is, I suppose. He stands by his words always. He shows you that you don't always need to feel at fault and be apologetic. He patiently waits until you put your guards down. Deep down, you know he won't hurt you. He is kind and nice all the time. He is honest, which shows in his eyes. Wow. Absolutely wow. If you're someone who watches my videos, you've binge watched a few, you should already know how insidious this list is. Really. Okay? It doesn't need a lot of explaining. We're just going to jump right into the points and kind of look at them as we go. But no more games. You plan a date with him and he will be there on time. All your texts are replied and your calls are answered. No excuses and no games. All that you faced before happens no more. You see, girls want to frame it as though they just ran into the bad boy and all of a sudden they were in his bedroom and having a 9 month relationship that wasn't really a relationship that they cried over every day. See, they want to paint it as though those situations are things that happened to them, not situations that they willingly walked into. Don't believe girls when they try and phrase it that way because that's not the truth. So when she complains about texts not being replied to, calls not being answered, excuses, and whatever the case may be, she's attracted to the opposite of this. Sorry, no, she's attracted to this. Goodness me, I'm stumbling. She's attracted to men who will not reply sometimes and not reply to calls sometimes. They will make excuses and play games. Because if she wasn't, all of these situations that she faced before, they wouldn't be there, guys. You see, we as guys, we're kind of stupid in this way, to be honest. We want to believe this kind of thing. We as guys, we think, hey, if someone tells us information, it is inherently kind of true. Right? It's like guys are conditioned to have no level of cynicism and no level of untrustingness. Guys will come to me and they'll say, Taylor, I really like your content, man, but a lot of the time it leaves me pessimistic and I find it hard to trust people. And this is going to sound really messed up what I'm going to say, guys, but the answer that I have to that is good. If you're a little bit less trusting, I am happy. Right? Because too many guys are too trusting. Too trusting. You want to go into relationships and you want to believe this crap? I mean, you are too trusting, and it's gonna hurt you down the line. It really is. If you want to operate by these particular principles, expect to have some bad things coming your way. And I mean that in not a rude way, guys. I mean that in a be careful kind of way. Okay, so if you're a guy and you get trust issues from these sorts of videos, I mean, good. Like it sucks, but it's good because you at least know kind of what to look for and things that are going to screw you over down the line. Let's keep going through these points. He makes you realize your true worth. He shows you how horrible your past is, but doesn't repeat it. You've been through rough and horrible relationships, and now you realize you never needed to tolerate all of that BS. You're worth what you're getting now. The insecurity starts to fade away. You had really tough experiences which force you to cover yourself in layers and build walls around you, but he makes you feel comfortable and secure. The haunting experiences made you feel insecure, but his warmth has now started to replace it. You feel confident and at home now. You see, because there's two sides to this, okay? There's guys who provide that feeling of comfort and security, and there's guys who provide haunting experiences. Guys, I linked, if you check out my last video, the one posted a few hours before this one, in the pinned comment of that video, I linked a particular study. I would encourage you guys to go and watch that. Alexander did a video on a particular study, and the study itself is very interesting because it shows that even though girls have these regrets about their quote-unquote haunting experiences, they will continue to go and make these terrible decisions. Just because they had regret in the past does not mean that they are any less likely to repeat it in the future. So, in other words, when girls are crying about, oh, my relationships were so terrible, it was such a bad situation, I regret everything, don't put any weight on the regret because it actually doesn't even matter. They can regret all they want, but at the end of the day, they keep going back to those sorts of decisions. So, it is not your responsibility to come and pick up the pieces just because. Even if they dangle a relationship, even if you're a lonely guy, right? You haven't been out very much, you really want a girlfriend. What girls will do is they'll dangle a relationship in front of you to try and get you to provide these sorts of things. Don't be doing it, especially if you're a guy who's put in a lot of work to get his life together. You don't need to be falling for that sort of crap, okay? Now let's go down a bit here, okay? He clears your doubt with actions and not just words. You still have that insecurity within you and you doubt him, but he keeps his words. The simple act of standing by his words gives you immense pleasure. Guys, let's just look at this for a second, okay? He clears your doubts with actions and not just words. The implication there is she's had plenty of relationships, if you can call them that, where a guy says words but then doesn't follow it up with actions. You see that? So, in other words, she's been in relationships, and again, I use the word relationships really loosely here, where the guy is using words, okay, but he's not using actions to follow it with. You see that? So if you're a guy and you're looking to date, invert this. Okay? In fact, invert them all. Really. You no longer need to be apologetic. Your past relationships made you think it's always your fault and you did something wrong. But this guy teaches you that you don't need to be sorry always. He forgives you because you have no reason to apologize. He is he is patient. He knows that you've been through some real hard times and you're guarded now. He doesn't hurry, but is patient and waits until you put the guards down. Gentlemen, if you get a girl like this and she's pulling this kind of behavior for you, you need to run. Because this kind of behavior does not come up with for Chads and people that she's had those had those moments of fun with, shall we say, in the past. These sorts of rationalizations, defenses, guards, as she calls them, I guess, they don't come up when she's actually attracted to you. This whole and don't let them fool you, because what they'll say is, oh, you know, well, you just want to rush a girl. You're a terrible guy. You're a terrible person if you believe that being patient is a bad thing, right? You're a terrible guy, guys. Let me make this abundantly clear. Guys who get this, you're not wanting girls to rush into these sorts of things. If they do, cool. If they don't, I'm gone. I'm not looking to... Guys, you are not out here trying to pressure girls into anything. If they're not interested, you move the hell on. Don't waste your time. If a girl is not interested in you, just don't waste the damn time trying to show her how much you care, show her how much you're willing to do these things for her. Because you know what? Those things are actually counterproductive. If you haven't got the theme of these videos, guys, a lot of what you've taught is counterproductive. And I don't say that, I'm not saying that in a condescending way. I'm saying that because a lot of men don't understand this. And it's because it's not as if you've been taught it, right? A lot of guys are watching my sorts of videos, either they've been through, we've got a lot of guys over here who have been through really rough situations. And I say rough, I'm talking about court situations. We've got guys over here who, just in general, female nature has just kind of screwed them over a bit. Now, not all. Some guys just come over this content, they like it, they give it a watch, they take away the useful information, whatever the case may be, guys. But you can't deny the realness of this sort of crap. You want to walk around in society and you want to pretend like this sort of stuff doesn't exist? I mean, just, it's beyond me, okay? Because we've gotten to the point now where the dangers are so damn high, okay? And I've got guys in the comments section at this point asking, Taylor, look, I like your content and stuff, but what's the end game here? Like, what should we do with this information? Okay, and maybe I'll make a separate video on that at some point, guys. But what I'm trying to get at here is, one, do not make women the metric for your life. Two, understand them so that you don't... This sort of content, guys, it's supposed to be preventative in a way. It's supposed to be so that you can watch it, you can read... when girls tell you big lists like this, when girls tell you lists like this, you can understand that it's actually not the truth. Okay? Videos like this are a way to go, okay, a lot of what I'm being told is just not the truth. Okay? So if you want to take that and you want to... Your solution is, okay, well, I'm going to go do my own thing. I'm going to go enjoy my hobbies. That's great. Like, I'm so happy. Guys come on here in the comments and they'll tell me, oh, Taylor, I've got this hobby. It's been going really well. And you know what, dude? That makes me so happy, man. Like, when guys come on here and they tell me about their really obscure hobby and how much effort they put into it, I'm very happy for that. Okay? Because that's what it's about. It's not about chasing these girls and trying to prove that you mean something to them. It's like, man, there are so much better things to life, all right? And now let's just wrap off the video and have a look at these last two, all right? You feel deep inside that he won't hurt you. It scares you to put your guard down and open up to someone, but what you're more scared of is falling for this guy. Deep down, you know he won't hurt you and bring the walls down anyway. He's nice all of the time. Well, this might sound scary because we lived in so much screwed up world that kindness and compassion have become a rarity. Kindness and compassion are not a rarity. There are a lot of men out here who are very kind and very compassionate. You just don't want it. They just don't want it, guys. And you can be kind and compassionate to your to your dude friends, right? Because they're actually going to appreciate it. Like there's a quantitative difference in the amount that men and women appreciate different behaviors, and let me tell you, these particular things right here, way more appreciated by men. You you want to show these things to men, they'll be like, wow, someone actually cares about my problems. Someone's actually listening. This sort of stuff is just unheard of for the majority of guys. This is a kind of new experience for you, but then you realize this is how things are supposed to be. And we're just going to tie that up with a nice little bow of entitlement because obviously you're deserving of kindness and compassion for no particular reason whatsoever. Because you're a girl, I guess, would be the takeaway there. But guys, we're going to leave today's video there. As always, leave your thoughts and comments below. Share your experiences. If you disagree with anything I've said, feel free to do so in the comments, guys. That's what they're there for. As always, subscribe if you're new or if you like the videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, guys, make sure you check out the Patreon link in the description. It's a fantastic way to get a bit more out of the channel. There's exclusive videos over there. So if you're interested in becoming a supporter, do check out that link in the description. But guys, we're going to leave it there. As always, take care of yourselves, and I will see you boys in the next one. Peace.